everyone, and welcome to episode 1 of Building Geonosis. This is going to be a mini-series of an uncertain amount of episodes chronicling my creation of a big Geonosis mock. That's right, I am recreating the Battle of Geonosis from Star Wars in mock form, and I'm going to chronicle all of my different techniques and building styles and minifigures and collections and everything that goes into making Geonosis happen will be chronicled here on LEGO Lee 329. And this is episode 1 that I'm going to be calling Geonosis Genesis. Of course, the words do sound very similar, but Genesis means beginning, and this is the beginning of this mock. So this episode, I'm going to be kind of laying some of the groundwork of what I already have, what I need to get, and what's going to come, what you should expect from this series. Now, I'm going to tell you one thing. This is not going to be an ordinary Geonosis mock. Geonosis has appeared in a few different Star Wars source materials. The most notable one, of course, is Episode 2, Attack of the Clones, where vehicles like the Republic gunship here first appeared. Now, I have a lot of Episode 2 stuff, and Episode 2 is going to be the main basis for this mock. However, I'm not limiting myself and this mock to just episode 2. Because if it was just episode 2, I couldn't have figures like Captain Rex from the Clone Wars series be here. There's also scenes from Geonosis in the Clone Wars TV series, and also probably my personal favorite source material that Geonosis has appeared in is the Clone Wars video game that came out around the release of episode 2 back in 2002. I think that game might have come out in 2003. It's a great video game. I used to play it all the time on the Nintendo GameCube, and that's where vehicles like the Republic fighter tank are from. And I really want to include stuff like this Republic fighter tank in the mock, and if I limited myself to just episode 2, bye-bye to this mock, bye-bye Captain Rex, bye-bye a bunch of different characters. It just has to be normal Phase 1 clone troopers and the Jedi that are in that scene in some particular vehicles. So I'm not limiting myself to it. Now, most of it is going to be based off of episode 2. The majority of it is going to be based off episode 2, but not the entire mock. It's kind of going to be ultimately an amalgamation of those 3 different Star Wars source materials that I just mentioned. And really the reason I want to make Geonosis is because I was thinking about what giant mock could I make, and I was like, I have a lot of stuff from Kashyyyk. Maybe I should make a Kashyyyk mock. And then I went online and there's already some amazing Battle of Kashyyyk mocks. I was like, maybe Scarif, maybe Crate from The Last Jedi, maybe Takodana from Force Awakens. And I looked at all of those mocks online, and people have already nailed, absolutely nailed those different scenes from the movies. And I was kind of like, you know what? I don't think I can top that. I think I could make a pretty cool Kashyyyk mock if I really tried, but I don't think I could make as cool of a mock as certain other people online have already done. And then I started looking at stuff for Battle Geonosis, and there are some Geonosis mocks. There's some very impressive Geonosian arena mocks, which I'm not going to be touching on my mock. My mock will have nothing to do with the arena. Don't get confused about here. This is just the battle scene from after they leave the arena, the battlefield. And there are some mocks of this particular scene, but there's not that many, and I don't think there's any that I would say are particularly amazing. There's some pretty good ones, but nothing is great. So that's why I want to take it into my own hands to make, I think, potentially the greatest Battle of Geonosis mock ever in LEGO form. So that's kind of my inspiration behind this mock, and of course why I'm going to film this series and why I'm going to chronicle and let you guys know kind of what's going on with my creation. Now, I'll explain some things here in just a second about what's going on. I don't really have a whole lot actually built yet. It's more just kind of the pieces I need, but I did just get this package from Bricklink. It's my first order of probably quite a few that I'm going to get in the mail of pieces that I need to actually build this mock. So, without further ado, I'll show you guys kind of what I have so far and what pieces I ordered, and yeah, we'll get to it. So far, this is what we're looking at. We have my clone army, which I have 37 different clone troopers. Most of them are from Attack of the Clones, and then a handful of them are from the Clone Wars, and all of them are Phase 1 clone troopers with that iconic fin on the back of their helmets. I decided there are going to be no Phase 2 clone troopers in here. I could have mixed and matched them because I have a lot of Phase 2 clone trooper minifigures in my collection. However, I want to keep it consistent and I want to have only Phase 1 clone troopers. And of course we have Captain Rex and Commander Cody at the head of the pack. Speaking of the heads of the pack, we have a lot of Jedi. About 10 different Jedi minifigures and then Padme. So some really cool Jedi here. It's about 50-ish, a little bit under 50 different figures for my Republic army. But I need more. I need more. I need more clone troopers. It's a good amount, but I don't think it's quite enough to fill up this entire scene. Especially considering some of the clone troopers are going to end up on the vehicles. We had to have clone troopers in the turrets for the gunship, piloting the AT-ATs. Not AT-ATs, this is not Hothly. There's going to be clone troopers in the vehicles, so that's already like probably around 10 troopers that will be in the vehicles and won't be on the battlefield. So I need to get more clones, which is going to be tricky, but I've already ordered some stuff and I'll keep you guys updated on that. For the droid side of things, over here, the droid vehicles are a bit smaller, and I recently ordered this set right here, the Battle for Geonosis from 2011, I believe. That's pretty cool. I recently also got newer versions. I destroyed my old ones. I used to have these sets, but I destroyed them because I was a dumb kid when I bought them years ago, but the Geonosian Starfighter and the cannon. I might get more of those. I definitely want to get at least one more homing spider droid. I have 2 tank droids, I have 2 of the small spider droids, and I think I also would like to get at least one more of the Hailfire droid. Speaking of droid figures, I have a good bit. I think I have over 60 droids in total, which is a lot, and lots of sets come with battle droids, so it's not going to be hard to add more battle droids to my collection for this mock, so that's pretty good, but I would like to have more, and I wish I had more of the actual specific Geonosian battle droids. I only have 6. Those are actually very hard to find figures that only came out in a few sets back in 2013, so unfortunately I only have 6 of them, and I have a lot more of the typical tan battle droids, so I'm just gonna have to kind of screw with the accuracy and mostly use tan battle droids because I cannot afford to buy a lot more of the different, more rusty colored Geonosian battle droids. Here is my Bricklink package. I just cleared off the table of the minifigures. They're all in a big pile over here. Very disorganized right now, but trust me, it will be better in the coming weeks. But I just got this package from Bricklink. I'm planning on making this mock about 8 64 by 64 gray base plates long. It'll be 2 wide and 4 long on each side. I have 2 base plates up here with some vehicles on it, and on the floor I have 2 more that are still sealed that I got from Amazon pretty recently. I haven't ordered the rest yet because I don't want to rush myself, and also money is fairly tight, so I don't want to spend too much all at once just to have everything, you know, come crashing burning at some point. But let's open up this Bricklink order here real quick. It's taped pretty well. If you couldn't tell, I thought I was gonna be able to just rip it, but the tape is actually pretty thick, so I should probably get some scissors. Alrighty, this is what I got from Bricklink. A lot of 2x2 dark tan bricks. And this is time to announce the color of my mock. It's gonna be mostly this color, dark tan. I want to use this color because, one, that means the battle droid figures will not blend in with the mock, they will stand out. I considered using this color of the Geonosian battle droids, but that is the color, well, one of these droids, but also a few vehicles like the Geonosian Starfighter use that, same with the Hellfire droid and the Geonosian cannon. So I thought this color, while it might not be the most accurate, is fairly accurate to the movie. It's a little bit cheaper than a couple other colors. I think normal tan is a little too light, although I will be using some normal tan. So I think all things considered, this is going to be the best color to make the mock in. I think I got like 250 something of these, a lot of those pieces. It's so much that there's in 2 bags. I got like 100 or so of the 2x6 plates of the same color. I think I got like 10 of these little bit bigger plates. They only had a few of them, but I got as many as they had. I got like 50 or so of the 2x4 plates in tan, and you'll kind of understand what these tan pieces will be used for later on in the series. And then finally, I think I got like 50 or so of the 1x4 dark tan plates, which will also be more apparent what they're doing later on in the series. But those are all the bricks I got from Bricklink. Now, let's put them to good use. I brought one of the base plates up from the floor, and we're just gonna fill in part of this base plate with some of these bricks here to kind of see what it's going to look like when I actually cover the whole thing in tan. The reason is I'm using this color and using these base plates because tan base plates are much harder to find and way more expensive. These base plates are way cheaper, and I'm trying to be as cost effective as possible. Also, these pieces you can see back here, these are just pieces I'm going to use to fill in some of the gaps that you won't be able to see. One of the great things about Lego is I'm not going to waste my tan pieces where you can't see them. So these will be lining the outside, but on the inside, where you don't see anything, it'll be random colored pieces that I don't actually need for mocks. So that's a great and beautiful thing about Lego. If you're wondering why I left these little gaps here, that's because I want to make each base plate its own individual piece so this mock doesn't get too heavy and hard to transport just in case I want to bring it to like a convention or something. So each piece will be able to detach from another piece. So, you know, using, you know, kind of like Technic holes and pins, kind of like these pieces, I'll put those parts here so they can all attach to one another to make this thing easier to transport. And now that I think about it, this part won't be visible from the outside, neither will this, only this. This is going to be one of the corner pieces. So I probably don't need to use this color of brick here, but just for the sake of this video, because nothing is final in this particular first episode, we're going to keep it that way. Now, kind of like I've been saying, you don't need to see any of this. This is all going to be covered up by plates like this. But these plates, you know, they obviously can't really be balanced unless you put a couple of bricks underneath them. So basically to do that, all you need really is, so to calculate, to do some little Lego math here, you need to put a piece about right there. And there you go. That plate is now attached on fairly well. And you just need to continue to do that throughout the entire mock. So I think you can kind of start to see my idea here. So basically you just leave 4 studs in between, and then I can take the 2x6 plate and attach that on like so, and you wouldn't have any idea that there wasn't, you know, all tan bricks underneath there. And it will make for, I think, a pretty structurally sound thing that will look completely like Geonosis Desert, but also kind of cheating the system by filling in the gaps with some random colored Lego bricks. Now, I don't have that many random bricks just lying around, I can probably find some in my giant buckets of bricks in my collection, but I might honestly just go to Target or something and buy one of those buckets of Lego bricks and use that to kind of complete this thing. But let's just fill out what I have here so far, and I'll take a closer look at what that kind of looks like. Alrighty, this is what I have so far, and I think it looks pretty good. It looks nice and smooth. You had no idea, like I said. And of course, I need to buy a lot more pieces because I need to fill up the rest of this base plate times 8. I'm using at least 8, maybe 10 if it doesn't feel big enough when I get to that point. So there's a lot more work to do, but I think this is gonna end up looking pretty good. And when you put, you know, minifigures on it, there's lots of studs for them to attach onto. And like I said, I chose this color so the figures on purpose will stick out like the battle droids, like the clones. And then of course you can put random vehicles like Count Dooku's speeder bike can peg onto here as well. Now, I'm not just making a flat battlefield. Geonosis has a lot of terrain, so once I'm kind of done building the flat surface, I will build some canyons, I will build those weird spires, I will build more texture to the terrain, more deserty kind of feels, rocky surfaces. This is not just going to be flat. That would be extremely boring, but flat is where I need to start with this mock in order to make it pretty cool. So I think this is a good starting point for this creation. So kind of wrapping up the first episode of Building Geonosis. Thank you guys for watching. I honestly cannot tell you when episode 2 is going to come out. I'm pretty much just going to make these episodes when I actually have something to show, because I could do like one episode every week, but if I don't do anything in the next week, then there's no point of making a new episode. So the next episode will be up in the air. I will post it once I actually have something cool for you guys to see. So look forward to that. It shouldn't be too long, and please like this video, subscribe to this channel, check out my Instagram page. There'll be a link in the description below. I have some really cool stuff on there, and there'll also be some mock updates on Instagram as well. There's some really cool content over there. And of course, subscribe to LEGO Elite 329. Thank you guys so much for watching. Tell me your thoughts in the comments below, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.